Welcome to the ESPN High School Football Kickoff from Fairhope, Alabama. We are at the Nest, a place that 2 years ago did not exist. It's kind of a field of dreams, and they have come today to watch a team from Tennessee and a team from Alabama. Battleground Academy out of Franklin and St. Michael. We've got famous stars in the building whose sons are now trying to step out of the shadow. Bo Brown, the quarterback for Battleground, son of Luke Bryan. Philip Rivers, the head coach here at St. Michael. His son, Gunnar Rivers, the starting quarterback for the Cardinals. Should be a fun way to start the college football season. Welcome in, alongside former Rice quarterback Taylor McHargue. I'm Richard Cross. Ashley Stroline will join us in just a few minutes. How cool is this? What a way to start the high school football season.
Yeah, this is awesome. What an opportunity for both of these teams. BGA coming off a high school state championship, first one in over 2 decades for them. And for St. Michael, the team hosting, they've been right there. The back-to-back seasons where they lost in the semifinals, but a big opportunity here for both these teams today.
And quarterbacks are the conversation today. When your dad throws for 65,000 yards in the NFL, it takes a little while to emerge from the shadow, but Gunnar Rivers has done just that. He's headed to NC State in January.
And a big get for the Wolfpack, 151 in the ranking for the ESPN 300, number 11 pocket passer in the country, and one of the most prolific passers all time in Alabama high school football history. Over 10,000 yards. He's closing in on a state record for Alabama in that passing record.
Gunnar Rivers has been incredible. He's been a starter since his 9th grade year, even played some as an 8th grader. And then on the other side, big shoes to fill for Bo Bryan. They had an incredible quarterback a season ago. This is now his football team, and Bobby Bentley is excited about this opportunity.
A lot of people watching Bo Bryan, 3-star recruit, was in a backup role this year, but it is his team in 2026.
So Bo Bryan, son of Luke Bryan, who is here today in Fairhope. Ashley is standing by with one of the biggest superstars in country music. Ashley?
Thanks, guys. Well, I'm here on the field with country music superstar Luke Bryan, but you are here today in a much more important role. You're here as dad to Bo Bryan as he takes the field in his senior season as starting quarterback for Battleground Academy. What does this moment mean for you and the Bryan family?
Well, I get excited over football in general, but this morning I've never been more fired up. I'm fired up for the team, and obviously watching my son kind of wait his turn, and now he's a senior and really learn the offense for so many years, and he gets to come down here to Alabama, play football in the South against the Southern team. Leaving Franklin this morning for me and them last night, it's a very special day for us.
And you've played in front of tens of thousands of people. You've been on national TV numerous times. What advice did you have for Bo about this opportunity, but also that this is a nationally televised game?
Well, for him to be on ESPN and obviously Philip Rivers and the BGA Wildcats and the way this thing came together, I just pray for the boys. But to have my son on national TV getting to play quarterback is amazing, and just want to watch the team. All these boys on both sides have worked so hard through the spring, through the summers, and this is what today is all about, playing football, and I just want him to have fun, rally his teammates, smile, and understand mistakes happen, but come out of here with a win's the main thing.
Great advice. We appreciate your time. We know you're a busy man. You got a new album coming out. You're headed up to Charlotte. You're on tour right now. You got a show tonight, but right now you get to be dad. We appreciate your time. Thanks so much, Luke.
I'm just dad, and glad to be here. Beautiful campus here.
Thank you, guys. Back to you.
Ashley, thank you very much. It is time for us to play football as we get things underway. St. Michael won the opening toss. They will receive, and it is hot, 92 degrees. Braden Walton, but it's caught by one of the up-backs. Good start. Evan Parton hauls it in for St. Michael, and good starting field for position for Gunnar Rivers at this St. Michael offense.
Over 10,000 passing yards in this career for Gunnar Rivers. We mentioned it, state record just over 11,000 yards, 599 short, but one of the most prolific passers in all the country and in high school football here in Alabama.
Rivers out of the shotgun. Nigel Mitchell is the running back off to his left, and a flag before the first play of the game. A little movement up front.
For the snap, false start, offense, penalties 5 yards, still first down.
One of the wide receivers perhaps that flinched early.
Cardinals give away a penalty
Philip Rivers in his 6th season as head coach. His team has advanced to the state semifinals each of the last 2 years, only to come up short to Jackson, Alabama.
Hey, lift wall, lift wall, lift wall.
On the ground to start things off, it's Nigel Mitchell. Carried the ball 55 times a year ago for 455 yards, had 6 touchdowns on the ground.
And one of the guys that when we talked with Philip Rivers, he lit up, said this is one of our studs on our team. Can't wait to watch him. And is another guy, just like what we'll see on the other side with BGA. You see a number of skill positions especially that are stepping up into elevated roles where they were in backup roles a year ago. Nigel Mitchell being one of them, having to replace Noah Moss, who is now at NC State.
Second down, Mitchell in the backfield. Rivers checking to Dad on the sideline. Head coach Philip Rivers calling the offense. To the air for the first time. Down the near sideline. Receiver able to haul it in. That's Braden Walton, the 180-pound junior with 39 catches a year ago, and they get into BGA territory.
Unbelievable play by Braden Walton. Ball is thrown a little bit inside. Ideally, if you're Gunnar Rivers, you want this over the outside shoulder, but this will be a great look at it. Watch number 3, up over top, come down with the body control to secure that catch. Huge play by Braden Walton.
Gain of 34 on the pitch and catch. Walton and Ken Thomas at the top of your screen. Movement up front. Left guard Lee Travis moved a little early. Second penalty against St. Michael.
You got the juices flowing a little bit, right? I mean, it's the first time for most of these kids. They've played on national television. Couple false starts on this opening drive, but I'm sure they'll calm down, settle in, clean up these pre-snap penalties.
We have disconcerting signal by the defense. By rule, that penalty's enforced 5 yards from the previous spot. Still down.
So Travis moved early, but it was because perhaps a clap by the defense caused him to do so.
Yeah, disconcerting signals. We've seen 2 different snap counts already, verbal and just that clap for the offense in Gunnar Rivers. But a free 5 yards there for St. Michael.
Bobby Bentley, the head coach for Battleground, in his 3rd season. They champions a year ago. Not a lot of room for Mitchell on the 1st and 5 carry. Evan Kellum with the tackle for BGA.
But this does model what Philip Rivers told us in our meeting, kind of what they wanted on offense. He said, look, I want to have those long, sustained drives. We need to be able to run the football. And moving the football down the field obviously had that chunk play to Braden Walton, but being able to run the football with Nigel Mitchell will be a huge part of this offense today.
Declan Reedy, the tight end, motions across the formation. Back on the ground with Mitchell. Tries to make a cut, gets across the 30. Should be enough for a first down as Caden McNeil with the tackle. A guy that's got plenty of college offers.
First down for the Cardinals.
One of the things that Philip Rivers told us about Nigel Mitchell, he makes great cuts, and it's not something where he's having to try and always see it. He feels it. You saw the jump cut there just a moment ago. Mitchell stays in alongside Gunnar Rivers. St. Michael, a school that is just 10 years old. Trying to get this one to the outside. That's Anthony Howard cutting it back up the middle. End up picking up about a yard on the play.
Number 18, Anthony
And Jaden Cannon not able to make the play, but he is who slows this down. Number 1, it's another one of these guys for BGA. And he's got a handful of group of 5 offers, but don't be surprised if you see some P4 teams. Look on the left side of the screen. Number 1, shed that block, get vertical, and slows down Anthony Howard enough. See the rest of those yellow helmets rally to the football. That's good team defense from BGA.
Braden Walton had the big catch on this drive. He's lined up at the top of your screen. Ambrose Barwick, receiver number 7, at the bottom. Ken Thomas in the slot. Rivers with a handoff to Mitchell looking for a lane, and he runs into a wall of white jerseys.
there's going to have to be some patience in this run game for the Cardinal. This front that you're running into for BGA, Jaden Cannon, we just mentioned, 3-star Justice Pittman on the other side. And in the middle, you got Evan Kellum, another 3-star linebacking core, and this defensive line for BGA. A number of prospects, really good players in that front 7.
So 3rd and 7 coming up for St. Michael. Opening drive of the game, scoreless between St. Michael and Battleground Academy. Gunnar Rivers looking to throw, pressure coming, dumps it out of the backfield to Mitchell. Mitchell across the 20 to the 15, into the end zone, touchdown! Blitz coming, set up the screen and executed it perfectly.
Great recognition by Gunnar Rivers. Man defense, they're bringing pressure, and watch, they slip the running back, Nigel Mitchell, out. There's a breakdown in protection. Nigel Mitchell comes across into the flat, and nobody travels with him. They're late working across. That screen versus man defense into that blitz. Really nice job, good recognition by Gunnar Rivers. And what an opening possession by the Cardinal.
Extra point is blocked, kind of a low snap, couldn't be handled, so a 6-0 lead for St. Michael. They marched down the field, began with good field position, a big pass play to Braden Walton, and then Nigel Mitchell with the touchdown catch. The ESPN High School Kickoff is brought to you by Q Collar. Protect your brain, protect your game. Collar up. Philip Rivers before the game with a final message to his team, St. Michael. He wanted them to have fun. Take a listen.
Hey, look, you know what I'm feeling a little bit right now? I hope you are feeling it. Thankfulness, right? A little gratitude. Like, how cool is this? Crap, we get to play a Saturday afternoon game here? It's your school, right back here. How cool is that? That should make you go, oh, it should make you do that. It should make you go, man, this is fun. That's what it should make you do. Man, this is fun, and just play your stinking heart out with your buddies. And heck with the score. And just have
gratitude and have fun, and about as good an opening drive Taylor McHargue as St. Michael could have drawn up.
And even started the possession with a false start, overcame that and did exactly what Philip Rivers told us they wanted to do. Run the football on early downs. They stayed ahead of the chains. And then you had the big chunk plays in there as well. Obviously the touchdown to Nigel Mitchell, but I thought maybe the biggest play other than that was that shot play to Braden Walton over the top on that fade ball.
7 plays, 71 yards, a touchdown, and a blocked extra point. It's a 6-0 lead for St. Michael. Battleground about to get their first opportunity. Fletcher Fields is the deepest man to receive. This one is hit well, and it'll go 6 yards deep into the end zone, a touchback, and so BGA will send the offense onto the field for the first time. The first start for Bo Bryan, 3-star recruit with a group of 6 school offers. He's also got roster spot offers at Georgia, LSU, and SMU. One of the things we saw with him on the field throwing it, really throws the football well.
Yeah, he's got a good, quick release, and I think you'll see more offers come in through the rest of the season. Remember, he was a backup a year ago on that state championship run, but for today, big opportunity here on the road at St. Michael's.
Had a football that got away down onto the field, like one of the kind that may have come from the student section for St. Michael. 7:40 to go, opening quarter. Right out of the gun to the air, and he goes to Maddox Porter on the first play of the game. That's good for a short gain. A year ago, Maddox Porter, 78 receptions for 1,547 yards and 27 touchdowns.
Again, as a freshman, and this is a guy on the ESPN 2029 watch list. He will absolutely be somebody big-time. P4 offers one of the best receivers in his class.
Bryant to the air, taking a shot down the field. Flags come in as Porter was held up on the go route. I think you see the plans for BGA right out of the gate.
Look like they got Hux Moralia at the top, number 25. And check out this speed from Maddox Porter. Beat immediately, and for Smalia, I don't know that I blame him here. This might be a touchdown over the top. Look, if you're getting beat.
There are 2 fouls on the play, 1 by each team. And we're downfield on the offense. Defensive pass interference on the defense. Those penalties offset, replay second down.
And a little bit of a gift there for this defense for St. Michael. Offensive lineman downfield. You got big 54 Jeremiah Gribble on that left side, way too far past that 3-yard cushion on a play that was like an RPO with a go ball attached to it.
We'll do second down and 3 all over again. Curry was in motion. The pass is complete to Porter. Kind of a bubble screen look there. He's got 2 catches already, and it picks up a first down.
Between Maddox Porter and Max Curry, these 2 guys, one of the top receiving groups in the state of Tennessee, and you see the 31 offers already. Remember, this is just a sophomore. There's a lot of high school football left for Maddox Porter to play, but very explosive, long frame, really good in 50-50 situations on deep balls.
And again, just a sophomore, already offers from the 2 SEC schools in this state, Auburn and Alabama. They come to Porter again, makes the move inside, gets to the outside. After a stiff arm, he goes out just across the 45.
And a nice job on the outside from Fletcher Fields, number 2. Watch this block on the perimeter. On the left, on the right side of your screen, see that crack block from number 2. Good job springing loose the receiver, Maddox Porter, who's been targeted on every play so far in this game.
We're at about the midway point of the first quarter, and so we will get a hydration break. It is hot, low 90s, humidity up over 60, maybe near 70% today, and so player safety going to be paramount here. St. Michael leading at 6-0 after an opening drive for a touchdown. BGA trying to answer. We're back to Fairhope right after this. for week 0. Next Saturday, tune in for a triple header on ABC. Starting out with North Carolina and TCU. That game kicks off at noon Eastern in Dublin. Then it's NC State and Virginia, a game that originally was to be played in Rio de Janeiro. Instead, it will be in Charlottesville. Then at 7:30 Eastern, Alabama, A&M, and Howard tee it up in Atlanta for the MEAC SWAC Challenge kickoff. All 3 games also available on the ESPN app. I would imagine that guy would be checking out his alma mater and his son's future school next Saturday afternoon. 2000 to 2003 as quarterback, former ACC Player of the Year, went on to an 18-year career, including 3 games at the end of last season for Philip Rivers. 3 for 3 to start the game for Bo Bryant for BGA. All 3 completions to Maddox Porter. This one, though, complete to Maximus Curry. Max Curry, the son of Brandon Curry, a former Mr. Olympia.
And with Maddox Porter, kind of your longer frame, deep ball guy, Max Curry, this may be the fastest guy on the field today. 4-star recruit, 168 out of the top 300 for the class of 2028. And between these two, a year ago, they had a ton of production, averaged over 100 yards a game for both of them in that state championship run in 2025.
First down in St. Michael territory. Bo Bryant looking deep. He'll take a shot down the middle of the field. Wide open. Maddox Porter spins his way into the end zone. A 40-yard touchdown catch.
Good throw, good catch, and they take advantage of a bust-in coverage on the back end for St. Michael. Good a receiver. You see the post coming over top. Safety works this way, and nobody travels with Maddox Porter. This is an easy throw. That gets passed off on the outside, and it shouldn't. Ends up being an easy pitch and catch for the first score of the season for BGA.
Jaden Cannon went on the flag, and that opened things up for Porter on the deep post. Plenty of time for Bo Bryant, who starts his high school starting career perfect, 4 for 4. The extra point is good, and Battleground takes a 7-6 lead with 5:42 to go in the opening quarter.
Hot start. Both of these teams scores on the first possession. This one a touchdown over top to Maddox Porter. And 6 here in Fairhope, Alabama, and just a miscommunication on the back end here between Hux Maralia and Hayden Ward. This gets passed off, and right here, you got to have somebody traveling with Maddox Porter. They both travel with the tight end, Jaden Cannon, and that's how you end up with somebody that wide open for an easy touchdown for Maddox Porter from Bo Bryant.
Maddox Porter, 27 touchdown catches a year ago. He's got 4 catches for 68 yards and a score after 1 possession this season. Luke Bryant and Mom Caroline with plenty to smile about after watching their son making his first start go 5 for 5. Didn't look like you had any nerves there for Bo Bryant.
Not at all. And I really, if you're a quarterback at any level, but especially high school, you're playing on national television. I thought it was great coming right out of the gate from Bobby Bentley. Let's get some easy completions. You saw some of those screens, the hitches, get some confidence going for your quarterback, and then open up the downfield passing game and started exactly how you would have wanted, really, for both sides. Only blemish so far is the missed extra point for St. Michael.
So St. Michael took the opening kick, marched it down the field 70 yards into the end zone for a score, missed the extra point. And now a short kick going to be taken by one of the up men. No chance for a return there as Declan Reedy gave the fair catch sign. You see Anthony Howard, 5'10", 160. Pretty good offer list for him so far. Seeing him on both sides of the ball, but maybe a little limited today because of the heat.
And he just got here at the end of the summer. This is a guy new to the program for St. Michael, and Philip Rivers told us that. He said, look, he's likely our best cover corner, but it's game one, first game of the season. You'll see him on both sides, but is he going to play every down on both sides in this heat? Probably not. We've got to be careful with how we use him today, said Philip Rivers.
Real feel right now, 107. One of the perhaps saving graces is a grass field. No turf here at St. Michael. Look at Mitchell trying to get to the outside. What a start for him in the season opener. He rumbles out to the 39-yard line, brought down by Braden Colbert and Colton Stanford, but a gain of 14.
And look at this contact balance from Nigel Mitchell. There's a couple different times there's contact. He fights through it. Couple arm tackles. Guy's not trying to wrap up, and he takes advantage for another chunk play on the ground.
First set of downs for the Cardinals from the 39-yard line. Gunnar Rivers with a screen pass touchdown to Nigel Mitchell. Had a big completion to Brayton Walton on the outside early in the ball game. Rivers and whistles blow it dead.
We got a little delay of game here, a little miscommunication. You can see the hands going up from Gunnar Rivers to his dad.
For the snap, false start, offense, penalties 5 yards, still first down.
Ends up being false start, not delay a game, but you can tell, I wonder between the two of them how many dadgums we get in a game between that father-son combo.
The football relationship with Philip Rivers and his oldest son Gunnar started early. He coached when he was in San Diego, Gunnar's flag football team when he was 6, 7 years old, and said he knew there was something a little bit different at about that age. This pass complete to Brayton Walton. Walton able to split defenders and get into BGA territory. Brought down just across the 45.
They put a linebacker, Jonah Miller, over top, and just a slant finds that perfect window. Good timing from Gunnar Rivers and good patience. Another chunk play. Flip your hips around, good accurate throw. We talked about the throwing motion with Philip yesterday. It's a little bit, you see some of the semblance to his dad, but it's not quite in that three-quarter slot like it was for Philip Rivers.
Not a full-on shot put.
Definitely not a shot put.
Mitchell off the delayed handoff, rumbles down close to the 35-yard line. So Monday night for the Rivers family was family night growing up. Obviously, Philip was working on Sunday. He was off on Monday evenings, and their Monday nights kind of evolved around Monday Night Football. Said he was in the kitchen when 6-year-old Gunnar yelled out, "Dad, come watch this. Reggie Wayne just ran a sick post corner." At 6 years old, and he said, I kind of looked at my wife and walked in and rewound it, and sure enough, Reggie Wayne ran a sick post corner, but that was the point where he knew that Gunnar was really paying attention. Hand off to Mitchell, patient behind his blockers. It's across the 30. That's enough for another first down.
Ball came out, but they're signaling that Nigel Mitchell was down. You're exactly right. Going back to that story with Gunnar Rivers, and that's where Philip Rivers, his dad, told us, I knew early on he had that kind of football IQ, the zeal for the game. He's all ball all the time, but he did say he's got the temperament of his mom, a little more calm, not quite as fiery as Philip.
How about the play of Nigel Mitchell so far? 6 carries for 37 yards. He told us great vision for Nigel Mitchell. Now Rivers taking a shot toward the end zone. Drive. Walton couldn't haul it in, had it right there. Jason Thompson covering and might have gotten a hand in there at the very end.
And this is a great job in coverage from Jason Thompson. He's beat initially. Watch how he retraces back, fights through the receiver's hands. I mean, he's beat the entire way and puts that hand out at the last second to break this up, what otherwise would have been a touchdown.
Got that left arm, kind of a swim move over the top to get in the way of Braden Walton hauling that in for a score. Will bring up 2nd and 10.
And Thompson is another guy, not ranked right now, but that 2028 class, a ton of offers. He's going to have, I would expect, more come his way as his junior season goes on.
Back to Nigel Mitchell on the ground, picking his way down to the 15-yard line and another first down.
And this is another one where it's hot here. Richard, you mentioned that. This offensive line, watch how they wash down that entire, their left side, looking on the screen, the right side of the offensive line, push everything down. Good job by the center, Cole Singley, working to the second level on the linebacker, and an easy cut, good vision from Nigel Mitchell. And this offense continuing to run the football well.
When Philip Rivers and Bobby Bentley agreed to play this game, it was kind of put together by Paragon. I think most of them, or both of them, thought that it might be under the lights. Instead, under the high sun, as Rivers, who's a sneaky good runner, will pick his way down inside the 10. A little slow getting up after the hit. In fact, not up yet. Takes the helmet off, and everybody kind of holding their breath right now.
Shot came in from the side. Obviously don't want to speculate. And that was almost looked like he was surprised at the contact coming from that right side.
Training staff for St. Michael looking at what appears to be the right leg. And what a brilliant start to this game for Gunnar Rivers, and you certainly hate seeing this. Gunnar Rivers has been the starting quarterback here since his 9th grade season. Philip Rivers has only had 2 starting quarterbacks in his time here. The first is his current son-in-law, Josh Murphy, who married his oldest daughter, Caroline. They had a baby just a couple of months ago, and now his son, Gunnar Rivers, who's being helped off the field. We'll take another look. Pocket broke down, scrambling.
It's coming from that right side, and you see that right leg planted in the ground as that contact comes in from Caden McNeil. Watch that right leg as it's kind of pushed back inside. Obviously, again, don't want to speculate on injury, but difficulty coming off the field, headed in to the tent right now.
And that's so unfortunate. Caden McNeil did what you teach, and that's go low, get guys to the ground. Marshall Petrie is the backup quarterback. He will come in now, the 6'2", 165-pound junior. He gives it to Mitchell. Nowhere to go this time. Runs into a wall of jerseys. Kellum and also Plunkett there to make the tackle for BGA.
Part of the benefit so far for St. Michael in this situation is they have been able to run the football well, and I think you're going to continue to see them lean on that. You know, Ashley will get an update for us soon on status of Gunnar Rivers, but for Marshall Petrie, big opportunity, 6'2", 165. He also throws it well. We saw him during warm-ups.
A year ago, 12 pass attempts for Petrie. He was 7 of 12 for 55 yards, did not have a touchdown or an interception. Petrie setting up a screen, a one-handed catch made by Mitchell, but a good tackle from behind there by Justice Pittman. Big man from the defensive line, able to get out and pull Mitchell down from behind.
Really good effort from Justice Pittman, 3-star recruit committed to Western Kentucky, and seeing him retrace back, track down the running back, and bring him down for no gain.
Fourth down play, the marker on the field showing 4th down. Need to take it across the 6-yard line. And they're going to have a little time to think about it as the first quarter comes to an end. Or was there a timeout before the expiration of the quarter? So a fourth down play coming up for St. Michael. There they go. They stopped the clock at 5 seconds, so a timeout before this play coming up. And Phillip Rivers in a spot where he's got to juggle some emotions right now. He's got to continue to coach this football team, call plays for this offense, but also concerned for his son, Gunnar Rivers, his quarterback, who went down with an injury apparently to that right lower leg.
And headed over into the tent right now to check on Gunnar. You're exactly right, Richard. I mean, it's a whole new element to anytime one of your players gets injured. Obviously extremely concerned about them, but it's added when it's your child as well. Committed to North Carolina State. He's had an incredible career like we talked about in the state of Alabama, and obviously just hope the best for Gunnar. Hope we see him back in the game today.
Phillip Rivers has another son on this football team, Pete Rivers, who is the third-string quarterback, told us yesterday. So as it stands right now with Petrie in the game, that makes Pete Rivers the backup, pending Gunnar Rivers' ability to return. There you get a look at the younger Pete, ninth grader on this team.
With the kicking woes from earlier, it'll be interesting to see here. Obviously, line back up. They missed the extra point on the first possession, but another opportunity here.
George Canaris is the kicker wearing number 1 on to attempt the kick, and he pulls that one left. May have hooked it a bit. He's got a big leg. They say good from 50 yards in practice, but no good there. After 1, Battleground leads at 7-6 over St. Michael. Porter, but concern in Fairhope, Alabama after an injury to Gunnar Rivers. Let's go downstairs and check in with Ashley Stroline. Ashley?
Rivers, he came over to tell me that his son Gunnar took a hit to the right knee. He says, we feel like the knee is fine, but right now he's having some spasms after that hit. He's getting some work on that right knee. He currently has it taped up and he's working with trainers, but sounds like if he can, he will return to the game, but currently just trying to work through that injury of those spasms and getting it to where he feels good enough to come back.
Ashley, thank you. We'll keep an eye on that and keep you up to date as information becomes available. First incompletion of the game for Bo Bryant. He was pressured that time by Evan Parton.
And pressure, that's what, for St. Michael, they're going to have to heat up the pressure on Bo Bryant. He was comfortable on that first drive, really no red jerseys anywhere near him. First time we saw anybody get a hit on Bo Bryant.
Bryant looking back to his left after rolling right, and it's incomplete. That time it was intended for Jake Birdie, one of the tight ends on this BGA squad. Going to bring up 3rd and 10.
And good vision from Abram Rogers from that will linebacker position. Even if this is completed in the screen game, Rogers right there for what would have been a tackle for a loss. And for as easy as that first possession was for BGA, a little bit of adversity here. First 3rd and long of the game.
Anthony Howard has come into the game at corner. He's at the bottom of your screen. To the air, middle of the field. That's caught by Max Curry. Enough for a first down out to the 40-yard line. A gain of 20 on the throw.
Good, accurate throw right into the middle of the field. If you see this void in the middle of the defense, that's exactly where the football goes. Good, accurate throw. Good poise from Bo Bryant. At first 3rd down and long, they answer the challenge.
Bryant stands in, looking downfield, lobs it down the sideline, and it is caught. The reception there by Porter. Flag comes in on the play. Was he out of bounds? They're not marking the ball as a catch, so out of bounds, but the flag.
The play. Pass interference. Defense. Penalty 10 yards from the previous spot. Results in a first down.
It's that matchup again. Maddox Porter against Huck Smaralia, and Smaralia doing everything he can. It's a little bit of a mismatch, right? Maddox Porter every bit of 6'3", and Huck Smaralia at 5'7". Smaralia trying to be physical, trying to eat up that space towards the sideline, but a little too physical, ends up getting that pass interference.
Play action. Bryant with time. And this one sails high, intended for Porter. Taylor, on that last one you had one-on-one on the outside. Is that an automatic take a shot if Porter gets one-on-one coverage?
Yeah, look, and I don't want to make it sound like we're picking on Huck Smaralia. Maddox Porter, I'm not sure how many DBs in the country are covering him well one-on-one. And so if you get one-on-one situations with a guy like Porter and Max Curry, a lot of times you're going to, as a quarterback, Bo Bryant, give them that signal or have it be called, look, we're going to take a shot here and try to go over top, and that's certainly been part of the game plan early for BGA.
And you see that's 2029. He is class of 2029, so just a 10th grader. Here's a handoff, one of the rare running plays we've seen. It's Max Curry who motioned into the backfield. He'll carry it across the 30. It's marked at the 28-yard line. Another first down for the Wildcats of BGA.
And a good job moving around Max Curry. A little bit of a Swiss Army knife. You see there, 4-star, again, number 168 in that class of 28 in the ESPN 300, and try to manufacture touches for him. It's been all Maddox Porter for the most part in this first half, but good carry and another first down for BGA.
Curry's got a catch and now a carry, and has been productive when he's had a chance. A whistle and a stoppage on the field. 10.5 minutes to go in this second quarter. I think I just saw them toss a mouthpiece to Cates Kennedy. So perhaps a stoppage for equipment, and then Kennedy has to come off for a play. Battleground with a 7-6 lead over St. Michael. St. Michael scored its opening possession. BGA did the same. Jaden Cannon now motions into the slot. Bryan with pressure in his face, takes a one-on-one shot. That ball is caught. Maddox Porter hauls it in inside the 5-yard line, and again, one-on-one on the outside.
And this time it's Anthony Howard, who's one of their top receivers, the top receiver, but they've moved him over onto the defensive side, try to match him up, and it didn't matter again. Maddox Porter able to come down, really gets both feet in bounds, would have been good on Sunday. Good job, and again, targeting over the top to Maddox Porter.
O'Brien went down for the first time today, hit just as that ball was released, pops right back up. Now 1st and goal for BGA, trying to extend their 1-point lead. O'Brien going to keep it himself after the fake, and he's dragged down at the 4. Evan Parton there, 230-pound senior in high school for St. Michael, Evan Parton. Nice-looking player.
And Parton's done a nice job on this drive. He had that first shot on the opening play of this possession on Bo Bryan, and that time able to read and react, get to the quarterback, and get Bo Bryan down before he was able to get to the end zone.
BGA, an 8-time state champion in Tennessee, most recently last year, but it had been 22 years prior to that. 2 years ago, they were the state runner-up. Last year, a state champion. Bryan complete to Maddox Porter down around the 1-yard line. It's going to be 3rd and goal coming up. No, an incomplete signal.
It looked initially like this was a catch. You had
too.
Get a look at it here. And that looked like a catch. He rolls all the way through. Looked like he secured that. See the ball out towards the end, and that side judge came all the way across to say it was incomplete.
3rd and goal from the 5. O'Brien looks to the sideline for a signal. We've got a whistle and a timeout. BGA going to think about this one for just a moment.
Battleground.
13-1 in state champions a year ago, traveling to South Alabama for the season opener here in 2026. 3rd and goal when we come back. (7-6) Battleground in front of St. Michael with a 3rd and goal coming up. The Little League World Series continues today at 5 on ESPN. Santiago of the Dominican Republic takes on the team from Tokyo, Japan. Wrapping up the dates, the Southeast Region representative from Alabama, Phoenix City, taking on California's team from Bonita. What a start in this game for Maddox Porter.
A ton of possessions early and often. Started with the screen game, try to get these easy completions, and then BGA, they've opened it up. This was that touchdown in the first quarter, shot play into the middle of the field. They've gone back to him again in this second possession. Really has not been an answer regardless of who St. Michael has put out there at corner. In those one-on-one situations, Maddox Porter has come down with the ball almost every time.
Pretty good day at the office so far. 6 catches, a $111, and a score for Maddox Porter, the 10th grader, who a year ago was a 9th grader, over 1,500 receiving yards and 27 touchdown catches.
That is a guy, again, you're going to see him Not ranked right now because he's in that class of 2029, but when that ESPN 300 comes out, I would expect we see him somewhere on that list.
Fletcher Fields is lined up in the backfield with Bo Bryan. He is the running back, but does not have a touch yet in this game. A 3rd and goal coming up for Battleground, trying to extend the lead. There you get a look at Fields. 8 touchdowns rushing a year ago. One of our officials appears to be coming off the field. Reminder that we are low 90s with a heat index of well over 100 degrees today.
They're working hard as well.
Bobby Bentley, the head coach at BGA, getting an explanation. 9:08 to go, second quarter, 7-6, BGA in front of St. Michael. A year ago, this BGA team lost to Franklin Road Academy 21-14 in the regular season, met them in the state championship game, and hung 61 en route to the title. Here, Bryan on 3rd down, toward the end zone, incomplete. That was intended for Maximus Curry, could not haul it in, throw a little low, and a 4th down coming up for the Wildcats.
And had some pressure in his face, but that inside slant to Max Curry, Bo Bryan will tell you, got to have this throw and really down a little bit, but Max Curry's got to make that play. And that should have been a touchdown there. Not surprised at all to see BGA stay on the field here on 4th down and try to go for this.
Maddox Porter, 6 catches and a touchdown, bottom of your screen. O'Brien looking in that direction, now steps up, gonna try to take off and run. Spins, ball comes out, and it's recovered by St. Michael. Just inside the 1-yard line, the St. Michael defense holds and keeps BGA out of the end zone.
How about this effort from St. Michael, rallying to the football? Looked for a second there like Bo Bryan was going to score. Gets knocked out, and Richard, you nailed it. St. Michael recovers this on about the 6-inch line. Nobody there. Good job navigating from Bo Bryan, and this is where he's trying to make something happen. Sheds 1 tackle. Ends up being recovered right at the goal line. This will be a great shot of it. Ball comes out. Looked like Hudson Ward caused the fumble, and then Evan Parton jumped on it initially, squirts loose, and Abram Rogers comes away with the fumble recovery.
And so now the offense for St. Michael in the shadow of its own goalpost. They've got 99 yards to go, and Petrie is still in at quarterback for the Cardinals. He's looking to the air, nearly throws the interception. That was off the hands of Jason Thompson behind the intended receiver.
They drop a defender underneath this hitch route. Watch at the bottom. Look there, looked like it was there initially. And you see Bryson Harrington get out in coverage. This is one you got to just eat as a quarterback. Throw that one away. Very fortunate for St. Michael that that was not an interception.
Petrie gets the play call and jogs back to the huddle. He'll work from the shotgun from inside the 1, 99 yards away after a defensive stop by St. Michael. They give it to Mitchell, who's trying to get to the outside. Breaks a tackle and out across the 10. They got a little breathing room and a 1st down.
Another great job from Nigel Mitchell. This should have been just about a 1 or 2 yard game, but more broken tackles from the junior. You talk about breathing room. That's great for your young quarterback, Marshall Petrie, that's in the game for injured Gunner Rivers. Watch this right here. Break, contain, 1 missed tackle, 2nd one. That's an unbelievable job for BGA. Those defenders got to get those helmets up. See what you're hitting. You saw a lot of helmets dropping down, and Nigel Mitchell taking advantage.
Petrie hands off to Mitchell, and he's got hard yards straight up the gut there. Pick up about 3, maybe 4 on the 1st down carry. If you're just joining us, Gunner Rivers had a touchdown pass on the opening drive of the game. 2nd offensive possession for St. Michael. Scrambling inside the 10-yard line, hit in the right leg, the right knee. Came out of the game Head coach Philip Rivers, dad of Gunner, told Ashley they think the knee is stable, but he's having some spasms trying to walk on it. We'll see if he is able to return. Howard in motion. Now they throw it to him, coming back toward the inside, and he is dropped by Jonah Miller. Jonah Miller, the junior for BGA, with the tackle. That will bring up third down.
Just trying to get these easy completions right now for Marshall Petrie. That first play of the possession, hitch route into the boundary. That one, simple tunnel screen, but a good job by BGA rallying to the football. Big challenge here, 3rd and medium. Really a passing down, but I would not be surprised with the way Nigel Mitchell has run the ball if they keep this on the ground.
Petrie, the 11th grader, now at quarterback in the absence of Gunner Rivers. Looking to throw, flushed from the pocket, and he throws incomplete in the direction of Anthony Howard.
Had some pressure in the interior. Again, Justice Pittman, Western Kentucky commit, doing a nice job. He had the helmet pop off, but heating up the quarterback. You see a combination, that blitz right up the middle. Looked like Evan Kellum, Manny Fentress in there as well, and then big 55, Justice Pittman, able to get their defense off the field.
Fletcher Fields will stand back at his own 40-yard line, ready to field this punt from George Ganaris. Wobbly one that's going to be caught at the 46-yard line. Trying to get to the outside. That's into St. Michael territory. Fletcher Fields is dropped at the 43-yard line by Hunter Risley. Best starting field position of the day for BGA.
And for that St. Michael's defense, this is going to be a challenge. They were just on the field, now immediately back on in the middle of this second quarter.
6:36 remaining in this opening half. A hydration break here in Fairhope. It's hot on this Saturday afternoon. Battleground Academy with a 7-6 lead over St. Michael Catholic here in Fairhope. Let's go to Ashley Stroline and check in on a Gunner Rivers update.
Well, Gunner is still under the tent over here, just trying different things to see what might work to get him feeling confident enough with his knee injury to get back in the game. He first had it wrapped up. They took that off. They tried some ice. They took that off. Now he's most recently put on a knee brace. He just got up and walked up and down the sideline a bit. He's currently standing up under the tent, again, just kind of monitoring and seeing how he's feeling.
Ashley, thank you. Fletcher Fields on the ground. He'll take it across the 40. Gang tackle there by St. Michael after a gain of 6, maybe 7 on first down.
Yeah, and this is where, for St. Michael, they bowed up on the last possession, got the fumble recovery right at the goal line, but the quarterback's down. You're back up in the game right now. You're trying to create some momentum. What can they do on the defensive side to create a little more momentum, maybe a takeaway?
O'Brien back to the air. That ball is caught by Maddox Porter. He's driven out of bounds. We'll see where they spot it. Looks like it's going to be just short of the first down, so a third down coming up. O'Brien started this game 5 of 5 for 80 yards and a score. He is 3 of 8 since then. And has a third down coming here, under center, straight ahead, trying to move that pile and get a new set of downs, and that's exactly what BGA does. O'Brien on the keeper.
I thought that was a good second down completion as well. You talked about just 3 of 8 over the last 8, but good rhythm throw, that out route, getting it to that 3rd and 1, and then immediate quarterback sneak, get on the ball, able to pick up the first down.
Got a whistle and a flag on the field. The linesman at the near sideline threw the flag there. Had a defensive lineman lined up in the neutral zone.
Yeah, it looked like 50, Brenner Russell just down at the bottom. Like he was all the way across in the neutral zone, so a free 5 yards for BGA.
First down at 5, just inside the 30. O'Brien lets this one fly toward the end zone, toward Curry. Flag on the play. Ball falls incomplete, but Jack Kurth kind of tackled Curry in the end zone.
He did. This is always a tough one for DBs, right? Any level, doesn't matter. Ball's underthrown a little bit, and if you don't get your head around as a defender, you run right through that receiver. That's exactly what happened here with Jack Kurth. This is an easy defensive pass interference for the official. Get another look at it here. He's right there, but because that ball's underthrown, this is where you've got to get that head around, get your eyes on the football, try to locate it. Instead, gets the hands out, tries at the last second to get the hand up towards the ball, but never tries to locate it.
Maybe the first ball that we've seen come out wobbly out of the hand of Bo Bryant. He has been on the money so far today.
Yeah, he's been accurate. His timing's been good, throws a good ball. You mentioned that from our time watching him in warm-ups, but yeah, that was the only one so far that kind of came out of the hand a little sideways.
First down from the 15, BGA knocking on the door once again. They were stopped on 4th down, a give and or a up, and it's a touchdown throw is what it is. Maddox Porter on the reception, gave him the outlook and then turned it up the field. We'll check the marker. An ineligible player downfield. That's twice now that we've seen that.
That's twice we've seen it. The first one looked like an RPO. This is not. This is a double move. Clearly a pass play called, so some sort of miscommunication with the offensive line. It's on the outside. This will be on the right side of your screen. Just an out and up, simple double move. But watching the interior, why you have offensive linemen working downfield, miscommunication here between a double move on the outside and your offensive lineman run blocking. Something going on there between the offensive line and what the receiver's doing on the outside.
Fields cutting it back up the middle. He is dropped just shy of the 15.
And again, to go back to that rule, there's always a little bit of a cushion. And it's usually in that 3 yards, and sometimes you get a little bit extra where linemen can be a little bit downfield, especially in this RPO era. But both of the times that this has been called, you've had offensive linemen 6-7 yards downfield where they're clearly run blocking.
.415 clock running in this second quarter. Battleground Academy, after giving up a touchdown on the opening possession to St. Michael, answered with a score of their own, made the extra point to take a 1-point lead. Bryan on the keeper, off the fake, lowers his head, flag comes in. He is very close to the first down marker. Abraham Faupu brought him down.
This is out on the perimeter. I think this is going to be against BGA.
So a hold, looked like a downfield hold by Battleground.
Yeah, towards on the left side of the screen. We'll see if we get a look at it. This is called on one of the receivers on the perimeter. It's like 0 there in the hands on the outside. Brandon McDonald charged with the hold in what was about to be goal to go. Now backing up almost to the 20-yard line.
2 steps forward, 1 step back right now for BGA. Bo Bryant to the air. That pass is complete to Jaden Cannon. Cannon back down to the 6-yard line. It'll be just shy of the first down. We'll bring up 3rd and a yard.
A lot of production from a year ago from Jaden Cannon, and I liked the decision making. Catches that ball. Instead of trying to make a move, he just gets vertical. Run through a defender, almost picks up the first down, and now 3rd and short.
Jaden Cannon, impressive looking player at 6'3", 215. 3rd down, we'll call it 2. And movement up front. BGA goes with the hard clap, and a couple of those red jerseys on the defensive line jumped across and made contact. Obviously, our ref mic not working, offside, so that'll be half the distance to the goal and a fresh set of downs. 1st and goal for Battleground Academy.
They were just here on the last possession. Remember, that got to a 4th down play. Bo Bryant scrambling, trying to get in the end zone, and ended up fumbling right at the goal line. We'll see if BGA is able to capitalize on this possession.
1st and goal.
Fletcher Fields off the left hip of quarterback Bo Bryant. And now movement up front again. Brandon McDonald, I mean, looked like he was swapping ends or was getting ready to pull on the play, and the signal is against Battleground. So they'll now move it back 5 yards.
Too many man motion.
I love when an offensive lineman is trying to sell it as he is moving that somebody made him move. That's beautiful.
A lot of our officiating crew has been very active on this possession.
Saw that some on Thursday night in the Baylor-Brentwood Academy game. Had a lot of flags in that game, especially early.
It's week 1. You know, work out the kinks. We'll see it at the college level, even the NFL as well.
On the ground with a seam up the middle into the end zone. Touchdown, Fletcher Fields. From 8 yards out, Fields gets it into the end zone for the score. He had 8 touchdowns a year ago. That's his first of 2026.
Nice run and a good job on that left side of the offensive line. Cohen Dial, Jeremiah Gribble washing everything down. A good job getting vertical by Fletcher Fields. Luke Bryan's loving it. How about this in the stands? BGA.
Super fan.
That's right.
He'll have people cheering for him tonight in Charlotte, but right now he's the one doing the cheering for BGA here in Fairhope, Alabama. The extra point is up and good, and that makes it an 8-point lead for the Wildcats, 14-6 over St. Michael.
Well, it's been all Maddox Porter over the top for the most part, but now it's the ground game. 2nd score of the day for Fletcher Fields.
All right, guys, thank you very much. Battleground leading at 14-6 over St. Michael, 2:16 until the half. During the break, we saw Gunnar Rivers put his helmet on and try to throw the football. The very first throw that he made, he kind of planted with his right foot, and as he let go of the ball, just immediately winced in pain. He's got that big knee brace on. He was 3 of 4 for 84 yards and a touchdown. Kind of watch, I mean, it's all arm, not putting any pressure on that right leg right now. And such a tough break for the 4-star quarterback, son of head coach Philip Rivers, who had an 18-year NFL career. He is Gunnar Rivers, committed to NC State. It looks like at this point headed to the locker room perhaps for further medical evaluation.
Yeah, it's really tough for Gunnar, tough for this St. Michael team. Trevor nailed it. This St. Michael on offense, they're going to have to continue to run the football. Nigel Mitchell is already going to be important for the Cardinals on offense, but that's going to have to even elevate more so in this second half and on this last possession here of the first half.
Another short kick. This one is going to go out of bounds, and so St. Michael will have good field position to begin this drive with 2:16. Marshall Petrie, the backup quarterback, has handled all the quarterback duties since Gunnar Rivers went out of this game. You know, in our conversation with Philip Rivers yesterday, he said probably not tomorrow, talking about today. He said he's going to play some defense for this football team this year. He's a good safety as well. All of those conversations on hold, though, for right now, is the right knee is the concern for Philip Rivers, for Gunnar Rivers, and for this entire St. Michael team. Not to mention a bunch of NC State fans that are probably watching today.
Another guy to keep an eye on, we've talked about Nigel Mitchell, but Braden Walton, number 3, he's lined up inside in the slot right now. He and Anthony Howard will have to make some plays here.
Toss to Mitchell. He's got a first down run out across the 45. Good hard running for Nigel Mitchell. You heard Trevor talk about it just a second ago. He's been outstanding in this first half.
He really has been. He's got good vision. He breaks a ton of tackles. We talked about contact balance, but watch this. This is get vertical and go. And out of high school running backs, a lot of times they have not developed this yet, but Nigel Mitchell has it in spades. When he makes a decision to get vertical, he gets vertical, picks up another first down for St. Michael.
Inside 2 minutes, St. Michael trying to get points on the board before the half. Again, Nigel Mitchell on the carry. Nowhere to go. In fact, he'll lose a yard on the carry. Clock continues to run as we approach 90 seconds until the halftime break.
And BGA is pinning their ears back right now, not really afraid of the threat for throwing the football. And when you see these guards and tackles, guards especially pulling right now in the run game, BGA is shooting these gaps, trying to get in through the backfield, and a TFL there.
2nd and 11 for St. Michael, trailing by 8, down 14-6, 1:10 until halftime. There's a fake and a toss, and that is a completion to Walton. Still on his feet. He's going to be dropped at the 37-yard line. Gave the pump fake and then got him into a soft spot.
And they go sell the screen. They threw this on the last possession and then release Braden Walton. Good recognition by Marshall Petrie and a good accurate throw. When you see Walton came off the field at the last second holding that arm, we'll keep an eye on him.
Walton had 7 touchdown catches a year ago. This time they hand it off to Mitchell. He'll get across the 35. And a timeout now taken by St. Michael. 41 seconds to go. We saw the blocked extra point off a bad snap after the initial touchdown for St. Michael. Philip Rivers told us yesterday their kicker, George Ganares, has a good leg. He is hit from 50 yards in practice. Would need to get it to, what, 25-ish, maybe the 30 to have a legitimate shot.
And his operation between the extra point and field goal attempt, over 2 so far in this game. And end of half situation, I think if you see them pick up another first down, maybe they do trot out Ganares, try for the long field goal. But this would be huge for St. Michael if they were able to come away with points here. Remember, BGA gets the ball to open the second half.
Where the ball sits right now at the 33-yard line, it would be about a 50, 51-yard field goal attempt. Certainly would like to pick up some more yardage and make it an easier try. A missed extra point and a missed 28-yard field goal attempt so far today for Gunnarez. He hooked that field goal attempt. 41 seconds into the half. Philip Rivers in his 6th year as the head coach. We asked him yesterday, why are you doing this? And he talked about the relationship that he had with his father, playing for his father growing up. Said when he played in his final high school game, he and his dad both had tears, knew that that was an experience that he wanted to be able to share with his sons as well. He said, I don't know that I'll be here for 50 years. His name was part of the conversation with Buffalo. Petrie with time, going to take a shot down the left side, and it's batted around and intercepted. Caden McNeil now trying for a big return. He runs away from one of the linemen. There is a flag down on the play. It's at the 36-yard line, a 27-yard return for now after the interception. Anthony Howard was the intended receiver. Ball kind of floated on Petrie. You look at the offer list for Caden McNeil. Holding called on the defense, but that is after the interception. So the interception will stand for BGA with 21 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, and I think Marshall Petrie just gets baited into this throw, really. This is towards the end of the play, and that's where the hold comes in. Jaden Cannon taking the jersey and throwing him down. They're trying to throw the fade on the outside to Anthony Howard, and right at the snap, the corner, Bryson Harrington just bails out. That's why you see him over the top. Good job batting that ball away. And the rest of this, Caden McNeil with a great return. But what looked like one-on-one and an easy throw on the outside on the fade kind of went away when Bryson Harrington bailed out of that.
Do you want that ball to be underthrown?
Yeah, that one needs to end up being more like a back shoulder because the corner's over top. You're not going to throw it over his head. It looked like initially it was going to be kind of that standard man-to-man, throw the fade ball on the outside until he bailed out.
Bo Bryant, 21 seconds until the half. Deep shot over the middle. That ball caught by Max Curry. Splits defenders, taking it to the house. Maximus Curry, touchdown BGA.
Pass complete to number 6, Curry.
Bo Bryant had all day.
Touchdown.
He threw a dime over the middle of the field, a 78-yard touchdown pass.
That's how quick it can happen with Max Curry. Tons of speed, and he shows it right there. Left alone in the middle of the field. Good recognition by Bo Bryant. And the rest of this, splitting defenders, is that speed from Max Curry.
Luke Bryan, dad of quarterback Bo Bryant, fired up after the touchdown pass. A lot of cheers on that blue and gold BGA sideline. 7 seconds left until the break, and that's a killer for St. Michael. They were moving on the edge of field goal range, tried to take a deep shot, end up turning it over, and then you give up the big pass play.
It can happen that fast against BGA. They've got so much talent and speed. And what looked like a scoring opportunity before half now has turned into a 2-score lead for Battleground.
Extra point on the way. It is good, and it is 21-6 now with 7 seconds until halftime.
It's that middle of the field again. I mean, you're going to see Max Curry come wide open. This is, again, a bust in coverage on the back end. And then that speed we talked about. Remember, this is a 4-star, number 168 out of the ESPN 300 for the class of 2028, and he's showing you why. Catch, split the seam, get vertical, and a big score for BGA. His quarterback loves it as well, sprinting all the way down the field. He's played well in this first half. Bo Bryant has. Really the only blemish would be that fumble, but that was right at the goal line. He's trying to make a play, show that effort, but otherwise he's been sharp, on time. It's been in the screen game underneath, and then hit the shot plays over top as well. I feel like it was dominated in that first quarter by Maddox Porter, and now Max Curry coming on in this second quarter.
Last year, BGA had Tennessee's Mr. Football in Caden Marable. He threw for 3,900 yards and 57 touchdowns. He also ran for 15 touchdowns and is now at Columbia. Where return here by Nigel Mitchell, trying to make something happen for St. Michael before the half. Clock goes to zeros, and that will take us to the locker room. St. Michael scored on their opening drive, took a 6-0 lead, 21 unanswered for Battleground, and the biggest story of this first half, the right knee of Gunnar Rivers taking a hit as he was scrambling down toward the end zone into that right knee and has not been able to return. Let's go downstairs and check in with Ashley with head coach Philip Rivers.
Well, Coach Rivers, first off, what can you tell us about Gunnar Rivers' injury on his knee?
Yeah, I think it's a direct blow, helmet to the knee. I don't think there's anything structural there, but he just can't get it to where he can put a lot of pressure on it. He's going to try to see what we can do at halftime and be out there. Even if he's a statue out there, it gives us a chance. It was one of those deals. I think this was going to be a slow track meet, and it was going to turn into a bunch of scoring, who could score last, because I don't think they're going to stop us. But Marshall stepped in there and done a good job, and they're really good, as we know. But we'll regroup at halftime and see if we can bounce back.
Best of luck rest of the week.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ashley. Our halftime score, 21-6. BGA in front of St. Michael. Let's send you to the studio. Jason Spells and Trevor Manich for our halftime report.
Hey, we're about to tell them to pick it up. We're going to run it 3 times right here and get a first down. Hey, nothing cheap. Missile alert. I'm just reminding you again, missile alert. Hey, we're about to tell them to pick it up. Hey, we're about to tell them to pick it up. We're going to run it 3 times right here and get a first down. Hey, nothing cheap. Missile alert. I'm just reminding you again, missile alert, safeties. They've set up. They've ran 2 mouses and a hitch. So what do you think they're doing that for? So they can throw a hitch and go, and so they can throw a missile.
To all sponsors.
Welcome back to the ESPN High School Kickoff from Fairhope, Alabama. It's St. Michael Catholic hosting Battleground Academy out of Franklin, Tennessee. Our halftime score 21-6, Battleground Academy with the lead. Alongside former Rice quarterback Taylor McHarg, I'm Richard Cross. We'll check in with Ashley Stroline in just a moment. The biggest story of the first half, an injury to 4-star and NC State commit Gunnar Rivers, the quarterback for St. Michael.
It obviously all changed when he went down. It was back and forth, really good first quarter, very competitive. And then you see Gunnar Rivers go down with that knee injury, and the complexion of this game changed. But like we mentioned, right out of the gate, this was the opening possession. Play over the top to Braden Walton, and this was a touchdown. Got that screen to Nigel Mitchell, who had a really big first half from the running back spot. This was the hit on that right leg, went down immediately. As Ashley's reported on, tried to do a couple different things to get back in, but we will see if we see him in the second half. On the other side, BGA, it has been the Maddox Porter show. Early and often over the middle. This was the shot over the top, and really a backbreaker here before half for St. Michael. Just before half, Max Curry, the 4-star touchdown, and Luke Bryan is loving it from the stands, as is his son, Bo Bryan.
Bo Bryan with a couple of touchdown passes in the first half. Ashley on the field is now with Bobby Bentley, head coach at BGA.
Thanks, guys. Coach Bentley, what do you like about Bo Bryan in his first start and how he's led this offense so far?
I was proud of him. I thought we played well offensively, except down inside the red zone there. We mis-executed on a couple plays. Other than that, we played well. We just got to fight the heat and finish this thing off.
How do you finish this one off?
Well, we just got to have guys step up because it's hot out here, and we've got, I think it might be the hottest place on earth, and we got to finish.
I don't disagree with that, Coach. Appreciate your time. Best of luck rest of the way.
Thank you.
Hottest place on earth, says Bobby Bentley. 22 years as a high school coach before moving to the college ranks. He was an offensive analyst at Auburn, spent some time as the head coach at Presbyterian College. Also at South Carolina, UCF, and USF. Had an incredible run at Burns High School in South Carolina, where they won 4 consecutive state championships. As you see Bo Bryan getting ready for the second half. We had a little mic'd up action with Philip Rivers in the first half. Let's go all access with the head coach for St. Michael.
We're about to tell them to pick it up. We're going to run it 3 times right here and get a first down. Hey, nothing cheap. Missile alert. I'm just reminding you again, missile alert, safeties. They've set up. They've ran 2 mouses and a hitch. So what do you think they're doing that for? So they can throw a hitch and go, and so they can throw a missile.
That was Philip Rivers mic'd up in the first half. It was just overwhelmingly clear yesterday in our visit with him how much he loves ball. And he recognizes that as well and said that, you know, I really was not that involved in the recruiting process for my son Gunnar because I was afraid I was going to get in meetings with those coaches and start talking ball. That needed to be his decision.
No, there was no doubt. I mean, he couldn't sit still. He's moving around. He's wanting to stand up. And I loved when we asked him about, you know, how do you distill down this, you know, infinite amount of knowledge almost that he has from playing as long as he did in the NFL to a high school program. And he talked about, look, a lot of what we run is the basics, the fundamentals of what he just ran in the last season, that style offense with the Colts. And so much of what he ran when he was kind of vintage quarterback in San Diego as well. But you could tell that love that he has for the game. Right now, we're going to slow down BGA on the offensive side.
Wildcats with a 21-6 lead over the Cardinals as we begin the third quarter. Going to the air, Maximus Curry. We had a couple of touchdown catches in the first half. He's going to be wrapped up and dropped for maybe a 1-yard gain. Abraham Faiupu leading the way. They said good against the run. That was, even though it was a pass play, it was almost like going up and tackling a runner.
Yeah, absolutely. And tough to bring Max Curry down to the ground. You see all the red jerseys having to rally to him, but a good job by that St. Michael defense just limiting him to a yard there.
You saw just a moment ago in the side-by-side, Gunnar Rivers coming out without his pads on. Philip Rivers told us before the halftime break that they were going to look at halftime and see if they could find a way to get him back on the field. Clearly that is not going to be the case. Just hope that long-term there's nothing serious there. Go route down the sideline. That ball is hauled in by Maddox Porter. He had a huge start to the game and makes his presence known here early in this third quarter.
Perfect throw on the outside as well from Bo Bryan. A little bit of separation, good route from Maddox Porter, but watch where this is dropped in from quarterback Bo Bryan. That outside shoulder, couldn't walk over there and hand it in a better spot. Now we see Maddox Porter kind of tapping his helmet. You wonder if there's any cramping coming into play right now. Reaching for that calf.
I don't think the BGA sideline is recognized yet that he's down on the field. Holding that right calf, going to try to go off on his own power. He didn't get any help.
They're still looking at, waiting for the trainer, saying any help here would be appreciated.
Temperature over 90 degrees, heat index around 110. How about 8 catches for 152 yards and a score today for Maddox Porter?
The sophomore, right? I mean, unbelievable. Came into this season 27 touchdowns as a freshman, has picked up right where he left off from that incredible freshman campaign.
Emerson Tice in the backfield alongside Bo Bryant. They'll hand it to Tice, and he works his way through the middle, gets down close to the 35-yard line. Good first down carry there for Tice.
You'll start to see that a little bit. Backups coming in. We've got a couple other receivers. Ashton Jokey in the game as well, number 20. A couple different Fletcher Fields, like we mentioned. It's with this heat and humidity, you're going to have some depth, some guys getting mixed in to spell some of these starters that have been on the field so much in that first half.
See, coming up tonight at 5 Eastern, Gainesville and Buford, Georgia. Good hard run there for Emerson Tice. Buford, the #1 ranked team in the country. That's where they finished a year ago. They have built a powerhouse at Buford. 18-yard gain there for Emerson Tice.
Good job with vision here as well from Emerson Tice. It's one of the things on both sides for the running backs in this game I've been really impressed with. Decision-making and getting vertical, being physical at the point of attack. Fletcher Fields and Emerson Tice for BGA, and on the other side, Nigel Mitchell. All three of these backs that we've seen featured have done a really nice job of that.
Tice stays in the game off the left hip of Bo Bryant. He will put it on the ground again, and this time, good penetration. Cam Kerbel leading the way, a captain on this defense for St. Michael.
Unblocked on that left side. BGA not able to set the edge, and Cam Kerbel, you mentioned, captain and leader of this defense. He started as a freshman, 4-year starter. Is also best player on the baseball team as well. Next level might be higher upside for him, even playing baseball, but a great play there from the senior Cam Kerbel.
First baseman and a pitcher on the St. Michael baseball team. Almost 3 minutes into this third quarter. BGA trying to add to its lead. Play clock down to 5. Get the snap off, and Tice again. This one once again blown up in the backfield. That is Dane Rogers, the 210-pound sophomore, brother of Abram Rogers. He was ineligible last year as a 9th grader, but big impact there, and a third down coming up.
Really nice job. Again, right in the middle. Looks like a busted assignment, but quality tackle there from Dane Rogers. Unfortunate, and a guy we haven't had a chance to talk about much, Cohen Dial, big left tackle for BGA, got rolled up on, but good to see him get back up. That's a guy that has some massive offers. ESPN still evaluating where ultimately he'll be ranked, but teams like Ohio State, Georgia, OU, ton of offers for Cohen Dial.
Bryant shot to the end zone on 3rd and 14, and it's incomplete off the fingertips of Maddox Porter. Bobbled it around a little bit and couldn't haul it in, and that brings 4th down up for BGA. Is there a flag down? There is in the end zone.
Pass interference, defense, penalty at the distance to the goal.
So instead of 4th down after an incomplete pass, it is 1st and goal from the 10-yard line.
Yeah, I disagree with the call there. It just looked like good coverage from Abraham Fayupu. Kind of a gift there for BGA.
So 1st and goal. This is Tice going to the outside, and he gets down inside the 5-yard line. Again, hard running from him. We saw Fletcher Fields for the entirety of the first half. It's been all Emerson Tice in this third quarter as the running back.
1st and goal.
And now BGA going quickly. Right back on the ground. Tice going to walk into the end zone for a touchdown.
Take advantage of that pass interference. Back-to-back carries for Emerson Tice. and a statement drive coming out of half. Most of this production on the ground. Watch everything on the left side. Watch down. Bring around the tight end, Jake Birdie, and a touchdown for Emerson Tice as we have another penalty flag.
This one down around the goal line. As it stands, a touchdown for Tice. He had 3 rushing touchdowns a year ago. We'll get the call.
It's good. After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct on the kickoff.
Unsportsmanlike conduct, but not sure on which team.
I believe it was on BGA.
Okay. Extra point coming here for Walker Ford. It is up and good, and it is now 28-6. So an opening touchdown scoring drive for Battleground to start the third quarter. Now for our Ace Hardware's helpful player. A year ago, Bo Bryant was waiting his turn. He sat behind Caden Marble, and in his first start for BGA, Taylor, he has been impressive.
Done a really nice job in this passing attack. Came right out of the gate, throwing the football. Maddox Porter underneath routes over the top. Max Curry has also added to it, and having receivers like that on the outside certainly helps in making these chunk plays happen. But I've been so impressed with decision-making, timing, throwing the football. He has not put the ball in danger once today.
255 yards and a pair of scores for Bo Bryant today. Making his debut as the starter for Battleground Academy. And Coach Bobby Bentley couldn't say enough about his quarterback, not just the player that he is, but the person that he is. He said he's the kind of guy that you would want your daughter to marry or your son to hang out with. It's amazing and by the way, the unsportsmanlike conduct was on St. Michael. So this kickoff happening from the plus side of the field.
Oh, an apology to BGA on that unsportsmanlike conduct.
We'll let it go. It's game one.
Game one for everybody.
See, St. Michael scored on their opening possession of the game. Since then, a field goal attempt that was missed, a punt, and an interception. Trying to get something going in this second half. They're going to have to do it without Gunnar Rivers, who has his pads and helmet off. He is on the sideline for St. Michael. Gunnar Rivers chasing the all-time passing record in the state of Alabama. Coming into today's game, Rivers had thrown for 10,425 yards. He was 599 yards short of the all-time passing record held by Jake Hayes. Played at Piedmont. Got 2 guys, though, Gunnar Rivers and Trent Seaborn at Thompson in northern Alabama. Both chasing that record, and the expectation coming into this year, assuming health, is that they were going to be 1-2. It was just going to be a question of who was going to be number 1 and who was going to be number 2. Get some movement up front, maybe a false start.
Getting that late shift from the defensive line. Remember, there was a defensive offsides earlier where they said the disconcerting signals, but defense last second calling shift, and that's drawing the offsides right now.
Dead ball. False start. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
That's one with young offensive line. Remember, this is a unit that lost 4 seniors off this offensive line from a year ago, so a number of guys on that right side, especially Caleb Schaefer, Loftus Garner, Lee Travis, all their first starts on varsity here today.
To the air, this one is caught by Braden Walton, breaks a couple of tackles and gets out across the 30-yard line, enough for a St. Michael first down.
And that was nice timing from Marshall Petrie. Gets out of the hand quickly, throws this on the back shoulder of his receiver. Really nice job, front field shoulder, allow him to catch the ball and get upfield. Good completion from Petrie.
Like Jason Thompson may have lost his footing on that, created a little more space there. Caleb Schaefer, the right guard, making his first start, had his helmet come off, so he has to come out of the game for at least a play. Nigel Mitchell into the middle of that defensive line and leading the way there, Justice Pittman, the Western Kentucky commit. 3-star prospect for BGA.
He's had a nice game so far.
He has.
Justice Pittman has really been disruptive, and it's like we still have Nigel Mitchell down on the field.
Nigel Mitchell down on the field, and a break in the action for water for these two teams. We're back with you after this. College football starts off international in week 0 next Saturday. Tune in for a triple header on ABC. It's North Carolina and TCU in Dublin at noon Eastern. Then NC State and Virginia. Game that was originally in Rio de Janeiro, now in Charlottesville. And at 7:30 Eastern, Alabama A&M and Howard tee it up in Atlanta for the MEAC SWAC Challenge kickoff. All 3 games also streaming on the app. Before he was a star in the NFL, Phillip Rivers was a star at NC State. Taken with the 4th pick overall. Remember, he and Eli Manning tied together there. Manning was taken and then traded to the Giants. He had a big-time career with the Chargers, and so now the offense back out, and this one is complete. That's to the tight end, Declan Reedy. He's a catcher on the baseball team as you get a look there at Gunnar Rivers, who really is favoring that right knee on the sideline. Took a helmet to the knee when he was scrambling down close to the goal line in the first quarter of this game. On the ground for a first down. Nigel Mitchell on the carry. He was able to go off on his own power We had the heat break a moment ago.
Nice second down throw there from Marshall Petrie. I think finding his rhythm a little bit. Looks a little more comfortable. These easy completions as well. Kind of moving the pocket to the right a little bit. Finds his relief valve in tight end Declan Reedy. Like he's starting to settle into the game in this third quarter.
Feel of this game changed so dramatically after the Gunnar Rivers injury. Kind of felt like they might be headed for a back-and-forth shootout. Mitchell bounces it to the outside across midfield. He'll go out of bounds, a couple of yards shy of the first down.
I'm so impressed with Nigel Mitchell. Really sturdy back, good vision. Good example of it right there. Not there initially, break that to the outside, show that vision, get this to a second short.
St. Michael, a team that is having to replace a ton of production from a year ago. Petrie taking a shot down the sideline, and this one is incomplete. Close to an interception there from Bryson Harrington, but was out of bounds when he came down with it. There is a flag down in the backfield. That's Anthony Howard, who's still down over on the BGA sideline. St. Michael player.
Personal foul, roughing the passer. Defense, 15 yards from the previous spot. Results of the play is a first down.
Marshall Petrie hit after he let it go. They get the roughing the passer call and pick up 15 yards.
A little extracurricular there from Jaden Cannon, and seeing Anthony Howard. These injuries piling up for St. Michael. Obviously none bigger than Gunnar Rivers, and you talk about the change and impact of this game with him being out, but this is another guy, Anthony Howard, that just transferred into the program. He's got a ton of speed. We've seen him play on both sides for St. Michael. A guy that obviously they hope can return to this game.
You see those Sun Belt Conference offers for Michael, Kennesaw State, Troy, Southern Miss, also an offer from North Alabama. Senior that they call Ant-Man. From the 33, a first down. Quick pass, this one is complete to Walton. Walton continuing to drive the legs as he goes across the 30 and then has his helmet ripped off at the end. St. Michael's sideline wanted a flag on that play, did not get it. He also lost his shoe. Yeah, garage sale out there at about the 30.
And I think this was a miss. I think that helmet got pulled off late in the pile. Looked like a face mask. Let's see as this is coming loose. To me, it looked like right there, maybe from Jaden Cannon again, but Phillip Rivers not happy on the sideline, having to contain himself, make sure he doesn't get out on the field of play.
4-yard gain on the play, 2nd and 6. Here's Mitchell picking his way for a couple, gonna bring a third down up.
Starting to get a little bit chippy. I think some frustrations building up for St. Michael, and obviously how this game has played out. Quarterback's injured, down 28-6, and see if that spills over anymore, but a little bit of the extra pushing and shoving after most of these plays now.
Noah Moss was the running back on this St. Michael team a year ago. He is now at NC State, had over 2,000 yards rushing and 32 touchdowns. Andy Cisneros is in the backfield. He gets the carry, gets to the outside, and across the 25, close to a first down. We'll have to check the spot. It's like right at the marker at the 23-yard line. That's enough for a first down for St. Michael.
Good tough running from Andy Cisneros. We talked about all these other running backs in the game. Good job from the senior getting that left side. Fight for that first down. This has been a good drive for St. Michael. Been on the field a while, wearing down this defensive line, starting to see some hands on the hips for BGA. Obviously need to convert some sort of points here. I don't think you'll see them settle for a field goal either with the missed field goal attempt and extra point.
Fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 from the 27. Cisneros again to the outside, got a little bit of room and absorbs the hit, spins his way to the 20. Jason Thompson on the tackle. In addition to losing Noah Moss, Braden Smith had 7 touchdown catches. Tucker Tomlinson had 9, and Brody Jones had 18 touchdown receptions a year ago. Ten plays in the drive so far. St. Michael has covered 50 yards, trying to cover that last 20 to get a touchdown on the board. Making a throw toward the end zone, and a flag comes in. Trying to go to Braden Walton, had his jersey grabbed and slowed him down on the post. It's going to be pass interference on Battleground Academy. Get the official word. There it is.
Half the distance to the goal. Also the penalty is a first down.
And also miscommunication there from Braden Walton and Declan Reedy. Watch 3 and 88. They run the exact same route. They end up in the wrong spot. It's another one of your week 1 mistakes where you have somebody down towards the flat and then an obvious pass interference from Jason Thompson on the back end. The drive continues for St. Michael.
Cisneros stays in the game as the back off the right hip of Marshall Petrie. Petrie into the game after the injury to Gunnar Rivers. Floats one toward the end zone. That ball caught for a touchdown by Braden Walton. A 10-yard touchdown pass, Petrie to Walton, the first touchdown pass of Petrie's career. And a big score there for St. Michael.
Really not bad coverage, but a good throw from Marshall Petrie. This was by far his best drive of the game. Looked really comfortable and caps this off. Throw the fade ball to your top receiver, Braden Walton on the outside. Give him a chance and let him make a play. See that? Just the defenders over top, really just allowing Braden Walton to go up and make a play. And we see the offense. Again, we've talked about the kicking issue so far. Offense staying on the field to go for 2.
Walton was grabbing at his right arm as he was coming off the field. Nigel Mitchell back in the game. They toss it to Mitchell going left, and he is dropped in the backfield. Evan Kellum there to pull him down. The 3-star linebacker, defensive back, makes the tackle, and our new score, 28-12, a touchdown for Braden Walton at St. Michael. The Little League World Series continues today at 5 on ESPN. Santiago, the Dominican Republic, taking on the team from Tokyo, Japan. That's at 5 Eastern. Then tonight, Phoenix City, Alabama, and Bonita, California. 7 Eastern first pitch in that game. All the games on ESPN and the ESPN app. Time now for our Q Collar heads-up play. This was with 21 seconds left in the half. Bo Bryan with a deep shot.
Tight game for that entire first half, but this was a backbreaker right in the middle of the field. It had been all Maddox Porter for that first quarter, but then Max Curry split the seams. Again, Luke Bryan loving it.
onside kick attempt here for St. Michael. Ball did not go 10 yards, and so it's going to be outstanding field position here for BGA. St. Michael trying to steal a possession there. Kickoff from the 40, got to get it to midfield. It only went about 4 yards, and that's a problem.
Another look at this attempt at the onside. Ball goes off of 12.
Abram Rogers had it.
Abram Rogers.
So outstanding field position for BGA. They begin from the plus 44. You see Bo Bryan's numbers, a pair of touchdown passes, 255 yards through the air. Maddox Porter and Maximus Curry have been his favorite receivers so far today. This is Fletcher Fields on the ground to start the drive and moving the pile down inside the 30.
Good solid run. That left side of the offensive line has been so good all game. Owen Dial, Jeremiah Gribble, the leader of the unit as well in the middle. Caden Adams at center. Really a good job by this unit. Another good run from Fletcher Fields.
Let's hear for your defense.
See on the left side of that offensive line, Cohen Dial, number 70. Promising future for him as Bo Bryan looks to go to the air. He takes a shot down the field, back shoulder throw, and that is caught by Cates Kennedy inside the 10-yard line. Kennedy, the 6-foot, 160-pound senior, had 27 catches a year ago. That's his first today.
And all day for Bo Bryan to throw. Watch how long. I mean, this is max protection. Leave a running back in to help. There is nobody near Bo Bryan. Good catch there from Cates Kennedy. That's a guy, track speed. Talk about him in the 200 and the hurdles as well. Big catch for him.
It was subtle, but you could see Bo Bryan looking at Kennedy as his second target there. Back on the ground, Fields toward the end zone. He's stacked up at the 2. He's met there in the hole by Faupu.
Carried by number 2, Fields.
Taylor, it looked like he wanted to go to Maximus Porter on that previous throw.
Second
Porter was
down,
covered well and went
1-1.
off to his second option. O'Brien keeping it himself, trying to push toward the end zone, and he is going to be dropped short. Inside the 1-yard line.
O'Brien's helmet came off, so he's off the field. Hank Bloomfield, the sophomore backup, is now in for this play.
It's
Luke wondering, how did we not score on the quarterback sneak?
O'Brien off the field and Bloomfield on. Bloomfield going to line up in the shotgun with Fletcher Fields to his left. Maddox Porter at the top of the screen. Low snap. It's recovered by Fields, and then he's dropped back outside the 10-yard line.
And there hasn't been any issues with snaps all game. I wonder if there was some miscommunication with Bloomfield and center Caden Adams about whether or not he was under center or not, because this rolls all the way back. And again, Caden Adams has not had a single issue with snaps all game. BGA fortunate to get back on top of that ball.
11-yard loss. There's a St. Michael player that is down on the far side. That's Jack Kurth, the linebacker.
Getting the stretches in, like maybe we're dealing with some cramping issues. The time of the game, week 1 in this heat, see a lot of that right now.
Kurth, a sideline to sideline linebacker, said maybe not the fastest guy on the team, but he runs well enough and does a great job reading those plays. Our real feel 109 degrees here in Fairhope. You heard Bobby Bentley earlier say, maybe the hottest place on earth. I don't know how many people are arguing here in Fairhope. Fourth quarter coming up.
one ultimate kickoff event. Which team will make the biggest opening statement? The Jeep ABCA First Serve continues on Sunday. Are you ready for it?
Texas A&M SMU in the first game, Pitt and Kentucky in the second. Volleyball, those spring sports off and rolling in the NCAA. See Bobby Bentley there, the head coach in his third season, state champs a year ago. A man that loves to fish. When he got the job at BGA, said he was looking for a fishing hole. They were at the Denim and Diamonds fundraiser for Battleground Academy. He was seated at the table with Luke Bryan, and Luke asked him, he said, "How do you like it so far?" He said, "Well, I've only been here 4 days and I don't have a spot to fish yet." Luke Bryan said, "You do now. I got a spot for you." They've been fishing buddies ever since, and Bobby Bentley told us, "Hey, if we can find a way to win today, I'm taking tomorrow off to go fishing." On fourth down, Bo Bryant drilled from behind. Andy Cisneros coming for that offside linebacker spot. Bryant never saw him. That's a turnover on downs.
Huge play and a miss on that left side. In the protection, blind side of Bo Bryant. Watch on the left, number 1, Jaden Cannon. He's got to work to that left side and pick up blitzing linebacker Andy Cisneros. Got a ton of speed. He's also on the state champion soccer team. And Bentley on the sideline, not thrilled with this breakdown in protection. You know, Richard, that's twice in this game that they've had the ball at the 6-inch line and not scored. That'll be something that Coach Bentley, certainly something to work on and improve.
BGA with a 16-point lead. Petrie throws it up, a crossing route to Ken Thomas. Thomas breaks a couple of tackles and he gets out near the 40-yard line. Finally wrestled down by the freshman Colton Stanford. There's some confidence on that throw from Marshall Petrie.
And looks very much like something we saw Phillip Rivers run in the NFL. Shallow cross all the way from his right to left. Good throw right on the face mask of Ken Thomas. A little momentum here for St. Michael.
Gain of 18 on first down. Ball out to the 38-yard line. Petrie flushed from the pocket, rolling to his right. That ball is caught and then dropped by Ken Thomas. If it's a fumble, it was recovered by BGA. The ruling is incomplete pass.
The officials all looking at one another like, what do you think?
It was finally the referee that gave the signal incomplete. We'll take another look.
This will be a great look at it. Initial contact did not knock the ball loose. It's that second one, Richard. I don't know. I think you saw Shakir the catch. That's right on the edge. Seen that go both ways.
Perhaps a break there for St. Michael because BGA did recover that football. Nigel Mitchell in the backfield alongside Marshall Petrie. Fakes it to Mitchell over the middle. This one is caught by Walton. Walton still on his feet, and he's shoved out of bounds just shy of the 30-yard line. A good throw over the middle by Petrie.
Starting to see some really big-time throws here from Marshall Petrie. This is a layered throw. He's got a defender between him and his receiver to get this over the linebacker, number 0, Manny Fentress, right in before the other safety. Really good throw, and Marshall Petrie loves it, as he should. That was a great job.
Again, Braden Walton coming off, kind of cradling his left arm. We've seen him do that multiple times today. Flag on the play before the snap, and that's going to go against BGA. Some momentum right now for St. Michael, trying to move the ball down the field. Offsides. Penalty against BGA, and so that's a 5-yard penalty that will make it 1st and 5, just outside the 25. Mitchell trying to get to the outside. He gets down close to the 20-yard line. That may be enough for a first down. It is indeed. In this second half, Marshall Petrie, 6 of 7 for 86 yards and a touchdown. And confidence growing with every throw.
Has really stepped in to this role in the second half. Second quarter felt like he's thrust into this game. It's a big spot. This third quarter, and fourth quarter now, has really stepped up his performance.
After their last touchdown, St. Michael went for 2, did not get it. They trailed by 16. A 2-possession game. Mitchell working up the middle. Group tackle there at the 15-yard line.
Mitchell with the carry.
And remember, I mean, despite the kicking issues, missing one, trying to go for 2, still technically a 2-score game, right? Score, go for 2, score, go for 2. So this momentum for St. Michael's a huge possession here, just under 10 minutes now in the game. Everything's 4-down territory from here on out.
After the last touchdown, St. Michael attempted an onside kick. They gave BGA great field position. BGA couldn't come away with points. This is Cisneros on his feet inside the 5, and he's knocked down at the 2-yard line.
Cisneros coming off that huge sack on 4th down on the defensive side in at running back. It's from the secondary. Looked like Caden McNeil over pursues. Good cut from Andy Cisneros. And now from the 2-yard line, St. Michael, an opportunity to really flip this game and build some momentum.
Cisneros comes out. Nigel Mitchell back in. Marshall Petrie calls the play in the huddle. 1st and goal from the 2. Inside 9 minutes to play. Petrie gives it off to Mitchell, tries to pick his way toward the goal line, and he stops short at the 1. Manny Fentress was there.
Stop just short.
Also had Evan Kellum in on the stop.
2nd down.
Back on the ball quick.
At the 1.
Little tempo here from St. Michael.
2nd and goal from the 1. Again, the handoff is to Mitchell, this time into the end zone for a touchdown. That makes it a 10-point game. Mitchell has not gotten up yet, pointing to that left leg, perhaps with cramps setting in. Think we've got a flag on the field as well. Flag is resting at the 5-yard line.
They're asking Bobby Bentley.
Touchdown counts after the play. Unsportsmanlike conduct on the offense. 15-yard penalty to be assessed on the try.
The second time that's happened for St. Michael. And now, just like on the last possession, when they kick off, it'll be from their own 45-yard line. See if we see where the extracurriculars going on. We told you it's been a little bit chippy lately. It's the throw to the ground there late. Yeah, you see the little bit push on the helmet, a little bit of the extras. And they're not going to take it on the kickoff because if it's a 2-point try, they're going to back them up now. This is all the way back at the 18-yard line for St. Michael going for 2.
Braden Walton has been the favorite target this afternoon. Is he in the game? He is. He's lined up in the slot right there at the end of the line. So going for 2, but it's a long 2-point try. Down 10. Petrie going to float it toward the end zone, and it's batted away. Colton Stanford, the 9th grader, has made some big plays in this second half, and he was able to bat that one away from Declan Reading. 8:16 to play. We've got a 10-point game. BGA in front. The ESPN High School Kickoff is brought to you by Ace, the helpful place. From Mobile to the Baseball Hall of Fame, Hank Aaron, one of several Hall of Famers from this area in Cooperstown today, born in the city's down the Bay section with his 7 siblings, went on to be one of the all-time greats in the big leagues. The Little League Classic is here tomorrow night at 7 Eastern on ESPN. Watch 2 of the National League's division leaders, the Atlanta Braves and the Milwaukee Brewers, facing off in Williamsport, Pennsylvania. The game also streams on the ESPN app. Mobile has honored Hank Aaron and his fellow MLB Hall of Famers in many ways. Statues erected downtown to Aaron and other local Major League stars. The city's minor league stadium back in 1997 was named for Hank Aaron. In 2010, the commissioner and fellow Hall of Famers were on hand to dedicate his original home as the Hank Aaron Childhood Museum. One of not just the all-time great baseball players, but the all-time great gentleman in the history of baseball. This kick, a touchback. BGA with a 10-point lead, 8:16 to play. Let's go downstairs and check in with Ashley.
Thanks, guys. I've been spending some time over on the Battleground Academy sideline. The coaches talking to their offensive unit saying, look, this game is far from over. We've got to shake off that last drive and get out here and get some points.
Ashley, thank you.
You know,
would love to see some time off the clock on this one as well.
Just going to say that. You know Bobby Bentley and BGA would love nothing more than an 8-minute, 15-play drive. It's not really what they're known for. It's much more of the strikes over top, which we've seen a lot of, but would not be surprised if they try to bleed some clock on this possession.
We've seen both Fletcher Fields and Emerson Tice in the second half. Bo Bryan to the air. How about a big play on first down? Maximus Curry into the open field. Fastest man on the team. He'll run away from everybody. Touchdown, BGA. Flag comes in at the end. It was 80 yards to the score. Curry gave a little look back at the defenders as he was running away, and then Spike-ish at the end.
You're asking the same question to Coach Rivers. Do you want this accepted now or applied on the kickoff? But I think Bobby Bentley heard me talking about a 10-play drive and just decided, what if we just go to the house on this first play?
Touchdown's good. After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct in the offense. Penny will be forced on the kickoff.
What an individual effort, again, from Max Curry. I mean, why he's one of the top receivers in the country, a 4-star. It's just a little bit of space, but in the middle, he made several guys miss. That was a ton of speed there at the end to get to the end zone. Between Maddox Porter and Max Curry, man, I'm not sure that there's a better duo in high school football at the receiver position.
How about for his 2 touchdowns today? 158 yards. 78-yard touchdown catch and now an 80-yard touchdown catch. The penalty will be enforced on the kickoff. Walker Ford to try the extra point. And that makes it 35-18. Boy, look at Maximus Curry go.
Get big. Brandon McDonald, the freshman out there in space as well, number 73. Oh, watch this, another cutback, boom, right here. Make another one miss. The rest of this here from about the 50 is speed. The fastest guy on the field, shows you why he's ranked where he is in the ESPN 300. And there's a little spike there at the end, showing a little emotion, but that is a special target. What a security blanket for Bo Bryan between Maddox Porter, Max Curry. Fletcher Fields has run the ball well. Jaden Cannon, Cates Kennedy. We've seen a number of guys. This is a loaded offensive and really defensive, but the skill positions for BGA are loaded.
Is there anything that you loved as a quarterback more than a 2-yard pass that turned into 80 yards for a touchdown?
I was always so jealous of, we had to play Houston and Case Keenum in that vintage, and they had kind of nailed in that pop pass where it looked like a handoff, but that technically was a pass. And I felt like Case Keenum always racked up like another 1,000 yards a season just with that little pop pass. We did not have that in our offense. We were much more just run it right at people. But yeah, of course. I mean, quarterback's best friend. Throw it 5 feet and it goes the distance. That's pretty great.
kickoff coming after another flag that was an unsportsmanlike conduct on St. Michael. So that wipes off the unsportsmanlike conduct instead of having to kick off from your own 25. It's now back to the 40. And it's a 3-score lead now, 35-18, Battleground in front of St. Michael. Long cross-field run and pretty good field position here as Hux Morelia. That is Brandon Curry. That is what you look like when you are Mr. Olympia. He is Max and Marvelous Curry's dad. Bobby Bentley told us that when they began weight room work, Brandon Curry showed up and he thought, he's going to be tweaking everything we do, and he said that has not been the case at all. Said just wanted to be there to watch his kids. Cisneros on the carry. Let's go down and check in with Ashley for more on Mr. Olympia.
Run by number 30.
Yeah, well, I had a chance to speak with Max about his dad and just looking up to him and what he's accomplished. He said he made a lot of sacrifices when he was a kid, watching his dad go overseas and compete to try and get to where he's at. He said, I know it was hard for my dad to make those sacrifices to get to where he's at today, but now he gets the chance to work out with him sometimes. He says also watching him work out pushes him to be better as too. And Coach Bentley, you mentioned him telling that story about whenever Max came to do a workout with them and Dad being there and just being so proud of him, that also gets a chance to talk to the team about nutrition.
Just based on the pictures, it looks like he knows what you're supposed to eat.
Yeah, absolutely. And Justice Pittman is going to get flagged here because his helmet came off, but he also made the tackle with no helmet on. Love the effort, but this is going to end up going against the 3-star that's headed to Western Kentucky.
Seen a couple of helmets come off today. Saw that a bunch on Thursday night with DGG.
Personal foul, playing without your helmet. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run. First down.
I mean, even though it's got to be the only play that'll end up on your highlight reel probably for the season. It was still a penalty against you. Watch right in the middle, big 55. Helmet comes off, and then boom, sit down. I'll take the tackle. I will also go to the sidelines, and it's a free 15 yards for St. Michael.
So the ball in midfield for St. Michael. 6.5 minutes to play. Petrie to the air. That is complete to Ken Thomas. He's the ex-receiver in this offense for St. Michael.
And you know, barring something crazy happening, St. Michael ends up losing this game. There's going to be so much to build on for this game. And Philip Rivers talked to us about that. Like, look, we've got all of our region play ahead of us. We're excited to play in this game. He said he talked to one of his old coaches, Gus Bradley, who's the DC for the Tennessee Titans, and said, y'all need this game to get where you want to go, regardless of what ends up happening. Obviously, we hope Gunnar Rivers is able to return this season, but they'll take a lot from this game.
Mitchell breaks the first tackle and then turns that into positive yardage. We'll bring up a third down for St. Michael, but we're going to have a heat timeout before the third down play. Everybody get a drink, and then we'll finish this one as Mitchell hobbles off for St. Michael. for St. Michael. Gunnar Rivers injured in the first quarter of this ball game. The 4-star recruit that is committed to NC State, the 11th ranked quarterback in the country. He got off to a big start in this ball game, hooking up with Braden Walton early. He was able to get it to Nigel Mitchell on a screen pass that went for a touchdown. And then scrambling here, you see player comes in from the side, he gets hit in the knee, has not been able to return in this ball game. Philip Rivers told us at halftime that do not believe that it is structural, but he has not been able to come back into the game. Zachary McClain, who's a wide receiver, lines up in the backfield this time and gets the carry. He's going to be short of the first down marker. 4th and 1 coming up for St. Michael with 5.5 minutes to play.
Number 13, Zach McClain, carry.
Gunnar Rivers came into this game just 599 yards shy of the all-time Alabama high school passing record. Knocked off his feet in the backfield. McClain can't even get back to the line of scrimmage. It's a turnover on downs as the BGA defense holds strong.
And blown up again by Justice Pittman. How many times have we said his name in this game? Walking back, the offensive lineman charged with blocking him, and big time watch right in the middle at the nose tackle position. He's matched up against Caleb Schaefer, winning at the point of attack. Excuse me, matched up against Cole Singley at center. And that was, we knew that was going to be one of the matchups to look out for. You know, Cole Singley, just under 200 pounds at the center spot. That's going to be really challenging against like a guy like Justice Pittman, a 3-star.
O'Brien looking to the air, and he's got a completion to Maddox Porter. Over on the BGA sideline, 5 minutes clock running. Tonight, the #1 team in the country, Buford, Georgia, hosting Gainesville. That game at 5 Eastern on ESPN2. And next Friday at St. Joe and Mount Carmel in Illinois, a New Jersey-Illinois matchup. Bishop Gorman and Columbus next Saturday as well, part of the ESPN high school football kickoff. Play action, Bryant looking down the field. He's going to check it down to Fletcher Fields out of the backfield. That's a first down for BGA. So Taylor, BGA a year ago, 13-1, state champions in Tennessee. You look at the landscape in Tennessee this year, and certainly they lost their outstanding quarterback, but this is a team that is loaded to make a run once again.
Got a ton of talent on this roster, and like you talked about, they had to reload in a number of positions from a year ago, but I'm not sure that they have really missed a beat at any level.
Fletcher Fields finally going to be run out of bounds inside the 10-yard line. Chase Morris there to make the tackle, but Fields with a big run to get deep into St. Michael territory.
Coming right into your living room, breaks contain. Good job being patient at the hole. Makes one miss right in the middle. Able to get to the outside, and between Fletcher Fields, Emerson Tice, we've seen a lot of good running back performances. Nigel Mitchell on the other side as well.
32-yard gain there for Fields. They'll hand it to him again. He's patient with this run, now cuts it toward the end zone, crosses the goal line, touchdown Fletcher Fields. What a patient run off the left side.
Back-to-back patient runs. Great job from Fletcher Fields. And about 2 possessions ago, looked like St. Michael was clawing back in this game. They'd cut it to an 8-point game, and back-to-back touchdowns for BGA to blow this open. Talk about patience right there, and then boom, point of attack, make one miss, and then finish the run into the end zone. Really nice by Fields.
That's the second 8-yard touchdown run today for Fletcher Fields. Walker Ford for the extra point. Trying to make it a 42-18 lead for Battleground with 3.5 minutes to play. This one is blocked. That one came off the foot low. Abram Rogers got that paw up and gets the block.
Another touchdown for Fletcher Fields. BGA extends this lead, 41-18.
It is so close. College football next weekend. North Carolina, TCU from Dublin, NC State, Virginia, Alabama A&M, and Howard from Atlanta. A triple header next Saturday. Week 0, I guess we're still calling it that for now. Handful of games next week, and then 2 weeks from today, that first full Saturday of the college football season. But right now, it's high school football taking center stage. And how about the debut for BGA quarterback Bo Bryan? 16 of 21, 475 yards today through the air, and 3 touchdown passes in his debut as a starter for the Wildcats.
It's been phenomenal right out of the gate. Great job and total command of this offense. I think the things that stand out to me, he didn't panic in the pocket. He was on time. He was accurate. Really, at no point in this game did he put the ball in jeopardy throwing the football. He did have the one fumble at the goal line, but again, I thought that was an effort play and a great performance for his opener for Bo Bryan, and a guy that I think you will see those offers start to come in at the FBS level. Waiting on his first one, has several FCS offers, but I think those are coming for Bo Bryan.
You're going to have to forgive my math. The day was still spectacular. 375 yards, not 475. But still 3 touchdown passes, including 40, 78, and 80.
Last one was pretty nice for your quarterback. Get it, Max Curry on a screen, let him take it the distance. It feels pretty nice when you've got guys like Maddox Porter, Max Curry, Max Curry, and Jaden Cannon. A lot of weapons for this BGA offense. They're going to be a chore for everybody on their schedule this year.
Gainesville and Buford coming up at 5 Eastern a little bit later this afternoon.
We got the fighting Jordan Lynches at Mount Carmel later. Pride of Northern Illinois had them rolling. That's between Mount Carmel and DeSoto. We talk about a high school team that I would have never wanted to play against. They are unbelievable in Texas.
Ryan Kerbel in the game as the running back right now. Third and 12 coming here for St. Michael. Closing in on 2 minutes remaining. That's Ken Thomas on the catch. He'll get back, just be on the original line of scrimmage. And we'll bring up a 4th down. See if St. Michael decides to punt, or they'll just run a play here on 4th down. Looks like they'll keep the offense on the field. Marshall Petrie asked to step into a big spotlight today after the injury to Gunnar Rivers in the first quarter of this game. Took a shot to his right knee. Well, you hope for St. Michael, for Gunnar Rivers, for Phillip Rivers, for high school football that he is okay and is able to return. Big brace on that right knee after taking a hit. Certainly a clean play, but you hate it nevertheless. Kerbel on the ground. He's hit hard right at the 35. It'll be a turnover on downs with 1:03 to play. Battleground Academy is going to get out of Fairhope, Alabama with an impressive win to start the season. You see the top 10 in high school football. Buford, Georgia, #1. A lot of familiar names there. John Bosco, Bishop Gorman out of the Vegas area. IMG Academy at #5. Grayson, Georgia coming in at #8. About 40 minutes from right now, Buford and Gainesville will play right here on ESPN2. Hank Bloomfield back into the game as a quarterback. Came in and played 1 play earlier after Bo Bryan's helmet came off. Emerson Tice getting the carry for BGA. They're going to have to run 1 more play, and then this one will go in the books. Bobby Bentley told us he had questions about his football team.
takes a knee.
Bloomfield takes the snap. Taylor, he believed that he had a good team, really liked the skill positions, but said we need to see them for real in a game setting. I would imagine he's going to be pretty happy as his team heads back to Franklin, Tennessee.
Yeah, I would say his skill positions are for real. I mean, across the board, not just from the wide receivers, running backs. And I also thought pass rush, ability for this front to get after the quarterback. Justice Pittman was unbelievable today. Evan Kellum on the defensive side as well. But, yeah, I mean, the superstars today, Bo Bryan, unbelievable performance. Maddox Porter, Maximus Curry, these guys were fantastic. And, again, still a huge season ahead of them. Some of these guys are still underclassmen. They got a lot of high school football, but these are going to be prospects and players you hear from for a long time.
Certainly a big moment today for Marshall Petrie, having to step into the shoes that Gunnar Rivers was in at quarterback to begin the ball game. Thought he played well, but you hope that Gunnar Rivers is able to return.
Yeah, there's no doubt. I mean, it obviously changed the complexion of this game. Everything changed when Gunnar Rivers got hurt, and now you hope for the best, hope that this is a one-week deal and that he's able to shake it off and be back next week. And if he's not, then you hope that it's not a season-ending injury and that he can get back on the field as fast as possible for his career and for St. Michael.
So 41-18 our final. 3 touchdown passes for Bo Bryan. He gets a congratulatory handshake from Phillip Rivers. Certainly a guy that's been around a lot of quarterbacks and has played the position at the highest level himself. That's got to be a nice moment for Bo Bryan. And what a level of excitement that has to exist for him. He got this first start out of the way, and he goes out and plays really well.
Yeah, so curious to see what happens with his journey as well. We talked about he didn't get a chance to start last year. He was in the backup role on that state championship run team. But I think you see, from his performance today, I think those offers will come at the FBS level, and excited for him and his future.
Let's go downstairs and check in with Ashley Stroline. Ashley?
All right, I'm standing by with Bo Bryan. First start as starter for Battleground Academy. You get the win today. What do you make of this whole experience?
First and foremost, I want to thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, and I wouldn't be here without him. I thank my brothers for being here. And it's nothing but a dream come true, and it's just a lot of fun just playing out here with a bunch of family that's standing behind me. And nothing would be accomplished without them, trainers or coaches.
You talk about these guys being your family. You shared some stories with me earlier this week about growing up with them and playing football in the backyard. Now you're out here playing varsity football with them in your senior season. When you look around, what does this group mean to you?
I mean, they mean the world to me. I mean, I remember playing with guys all throughout there since 5th grade. I have a best friend back there since, God knows, like 2nd grade. I've grown up with all of them just about, and these two also, they mean the world to me, and it's just a lot of fun and nothing but a blessing.
Thank you so much. Congrats on the win today. All right, Maddox, I'm going to bring you in next. If you can make your way over here with me. You had so much success in your freshman season. You're coming off of a state title. You get the first win of this season. What does this one mean today?
It means a lot. Just being on national television, just showing and proving the world that we really like that, and Tennessee ball is good.
And just looking at what you guys accomplished today, you've got a new starting quarterback in Bo. What do you make of the offense and what you guys were able to do?
Oh, yeah. I mean, we've been going through practice like this, so it's just been great. I just knew he was going to come out here and do this, and yeah.
Appreciate your time. All right, I'm going to bring in the next guy here, Max Curry. Max, when we talked earlier this week, I said, what can I expect from your game? What can we see? And you said a lot of explosiveness, and you certainly showed that today. Take me through your performance.
I just want to thank God first, of course, and it's not really only me. It's these guys over here blocking for me and cheering me on, and just Coach Bentley always knows what's going on the field. So he does a good job coaching me. Coach G, our receivers coach, he just does a really good job helping me know what I'm doing and understanding different formations and stuff like that.
All right. You had Bo out here. You mentioned the other guys that were blocking for you. All the guys watching this interview right now, you're coming off of that state title that I just talked to Maddox about. What does it mean to get the first win of the season?
It's just super exciting because we've been working all summer for this, so I wasn't expecting nothing less than just coming out here and dominating these boys.
I appreciate your time. Congrats on the win.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much.
All right, we'll send it back to you.
BGA state champions in Tennessee a year ago, trying to run it back this year. They were 13-1 last season. They begin 2026 with a 1-0 record after a big win, 41-18 on the road against St. Michael Catholic. Thanks for being with us on this Saturday afternoon for the ESPN High School Football Kickoff. You've got more high school football coming up. Gainesville at #1, Buford. My partner, Taylor McHarg, and Ashley Stroline. I'm Richard Cross. Let's send you to the studio.